Okay, yeah, okay. Actually, hi everybody. I'm actually a trader in Singapore. So actually, I'm actually documenting all these videos to actually as a record for myself, and actually also to be accountable for the trade decisions that I take, and also to record my journey as a trader. How much profits, how much losses am I making, right? So I like to trade the US 100 futures, which is the Nasdaq futures. Okay, I've been trading for a while now, so I would say I'm pretty consistent, but I'm just documenting this to actually make myself more accountable to myself, right? So I can see in real time what do I do, what's my plan before the market opens, and what do I do during market open, right? So it's currently 9:20 in Singapore. So let me go through review my trading plan for today. Okay, so usually before I take a trade, I'll look at the daily chart first to see if there's any biasness, right? The green lines here are actually key levels that I marked out. They're actually previous support or previous resistances. Okay, so when looking at the chart, I'll look at the daily chart first. So if you look at this daily chart, the price is actually broken down for a typical head and shoulders pattern, right? Okay, and then one of the indicators that I use is the relative strength index RSI over here. Okay, so maybe before I explain my trade plan, I will tell you what type of trader am I. I'm not a trend trader. I don't trade with the trend. I'm actually a mean reversion trader. I try to catch reversals, right? So because that's where I believe more money is made there. Okay, so if you look at this, like I said earlier, price is actually breaking down from a typical head and shoulders pattern. Okay, RSI is quite weak, so it's oversold, and then this price actually drew towards this area of interest over here, which is what I call a fair value gap. Okay, let me just draw this fair value gap over here. Okay, for all these terms, you all may not be very clear, but as I make more videos later on, I'll explain more in detail all these terms. Okay, so but basically, a fair value gap is actually just an area of imbalance or inefficiency whereby price tends to gravitate back towards, right? It's like a magnet for price. So you see, even though this fair value gap has been formed, it actually took quite some time to actually reverse back to this level, right? This area of inefficiency over here or imbalance, right? So when the price actually draws back to this area of inefficiency or fair value gap, accompanied with the fact that RSI is oversold, these are actually two ingredients for potential reversal, right? So let me just zoom to find more bias and directions. I'll actually zoom more into the lower time frames. So in the 4-hour chart. So if you look at the 4-hour chart here, this shaded area is what I mentioned as the fair value gap earlier on, area of inefficiency. So if you look here, price actually gravitate towards here, and then what happens here is that other than the RSI being oversold, there's actually another very important point. If you look at this is what most retail traders deem as a support level. So basically, it's a level whereby price comes and then it bounces, comes and then bounces, right? So typical retail traders, when they trade, they actually long, that means they buy at support and then they sell at resistance. So if a retail trader comes in and then they buy at this support level, so it goes up, goes up, goes up, right? And then they will set their stop loss slightly below this support level. So what happens here when price actually draws into this inefficiency? It actually breaks past the support level, meaning to say it's very likely taken out previous retail traders' stop losses, right? Because if I'm a retail trader, I long here, and then I'll set my stop loss here. So market makers actually drive the price down such that it reaches this area of imbalance and it took out typical retail traders' stop losses, right? And then RSI is also very oversold. So these three conditions make me more confident that price will reverse up, right? But where if we were to take a long or we were to buy here, where do we target, right? So let's zoom down to lower time frames, 1 hour. Okay, like you can see here, price is actually, it is a term which we call basing, right? The price is basing. So basically, after a strong move down, basing or consolidation happens before the stock decides its next move, which I believe is up based on the factors that I discussed earlier. So where will price gravitate next towards? So basically, if you look here, there's another fair value gap here, right? So a fair value gap or area or inefficiency, area of inefficiency or imbalance is actually, if you look here, it's actually a huge candle body with no in-betweens, right? You see? Yeah. So this is actually a fair value gap right here. Okay. So I believe what price will do is that you'll consolidate and then you'll go up here. Okay. Let's zoom down to the 15 minutes for more clarity. Okay. Look at this. It's clearer now. Like look at this. This is a very strong base, right? It's building the base, right? So usually stocks, when they move, they'll actually move either like this. Sorry, I can't really draw. Okay. So you actually move, if it's the double bottom, you actually move like this. and then it will go up. Wait, and it will go up. So basically, it's like a W shape down, right? And let's duplicate this. Up. Right? And let's duplicate it. Down. And then the real move comes, right? Up. Okay? So this is called basing, and then a typical bullish reversal pattern is a double bottom, which is shaped like this. Okay, so previously, as I mentioned earlier, from the higher time frame, RSI was oversold, came into an area of interest in a fair value gap, area of inefficiency. Okay, and then it swept the previous it swept the previous support. So basically, all these factors make this price primed for reversal. Okay, so what I expect to happen is this. Oh, sorry. Where do we target? We target this area here, which was drawn on the 1 hour chart just now, right? Yeah, it was drawn here just now. Yep. So I'm saying that it's primed to go towards here, right? Okay. So let's zoom back down. Okay. 15 minutes. So this is my game plan, right? I expect the price to actually go up here. Okay. To this level over here, right? So I'll usually go down to my 5-minute chart for entry. Okay. So what I would do is this, right? I'll actually take a long here. Sorry, it's a bit, can't really see clearly, right? Okay, so I'll take a long. Okay, take a long here. So my stop loss will be below the support level. Okay, below my stop loss will be below the support level, and then my take profit will actually be at this level here, or near to this level here, right? So I'm actually risking around $700 to make around 3.6k, right? So this will be my plan later on for market open. So let's see how it plays out. Right, catch you in the next one.